Alrighty, so now we want to go ahead and take a look at merging two sorted lists, and these are going to be linked lists here. So the most optimal solution can actually be built by looking at these examples here. So you can see that we have list 1 is empty and list 2 is empty, then we want to return an empty list. And then also taking into account example 3, if list 1 is empty and list 2 is not empty, then obviously we want to return the not empty list. So we can actually write that here. So if list 1 and list 2, meaning list 1 and list 2 have to be populated here, then we'll do something. Otherwise, we want to return, we can say list 1 or list 2. So the interesting thing happens when they're both populated. Well, if they're both populated, then we want to check, is list 1 value greater than list 2's value? Because if it is, then we want to swap those because we want the smallest value first. So in order to swap, we'll just do list 1, list 2 is equal to list 2, list 1. So what this line 10 is actually doing is just swapping the two lists. Then what we want to do is we can actually use some recursion here. So list 1 dot next is equal to self, and we can actually call our function merge to lists. And then what we will do is pass in list 1 dot next and list 2. All right, so what this is saying is if list 1 and list 2 both have values, so if we look at in example 1 here, then what we want to do is check, is list 1 the value greater than list 2? If it is, then we want to swap them. If it's not, then we want the list 1 dot next, so list 1 dot next to point to whatever's returned from this recursive call, and we're just going to pass in the remaining of list 1 and then list 2. So we can go ahead and run this, and this is going to be our most optimal solution, and we also get to use some cool recursion here.